All right, this is what we're working on today, right?
The old shoulder buster.
Shoulder buster? Because you got to yank start it? Mm-hmm. I didn't know it was an Atlas. I remembered it being a different brand. We're going to try to work on this today and try to see if we can get it running. First thing we need to do is take that hopper off so we can see the engine, right? Mm-hmm. So let's do that first.
Looks pretty pathetic, doesn't it?
The hopper's off. That wasn't too hard, right? Got one little wing nut screw. There's a safety switch there, but we'll have to make sure that works before we put the hopper back on. But now we need to see if it'll go. Bet it needs gas, right? So let's put some gas in it. See if we can move the camera closer without knocking it down and without being too much of a problem. We got gas cans over there, I see. All right, then.
I'm going to start the getaway vehicle.
Getaway vehicle, huh? Well, let's see if we can come over here. Open the gas tank. It's empty. I figured it might be. Gas can. The safety feature that everybody likes so much. Oh, we might need a funnel. I don't even know if I can get this gas in there with this thing. Probably don't need to fill her up, right? Just enough to test it. Take it apart. All right, gas is in. Cap is on. Check the oil in it. It's got oil. Uh-oh. Got oil and gas in it. That ain't good. That means we might have to drain the oil first. All right, now scroll and adjust it so you can see the, what are you looking at? Try to turn it too. There we go. I'll take this off first, right?
Mm-hmm. The air cleaner?
Yep. Oh, there's no filter. Got no filter. Might need to order a filter for it.
Probably do that before we start it.
Nah. Filter just keeps dirt out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fine. Alright, so where is the... Alright.
The pull bolt?
Choke. Choke. The choke closes butterfly. See on the top of the carburetor here? See when that's how it's open? And when I close it closes it off and it chokes off the air. And that's what makes it use more fuel and less air.
What?
Cameron, what are you doing, man? It's not gonna bite you. Let's give her a couple tugs though, okay?
Okay.
Let's see what happens. You got it in the film? The screen? I'll put this on there so we won't lose it, right? That's the nut that holds the chute on, right? Alright, so it does have this safety device right here. Mm-hmm. That might keep it from starting without having that depressed. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if we can put something on that to hold it down. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll try that. Because I want to be able to get to the carburetor, but here we go. I bet this will do it. We got this magnet bowl, magnetized bowl that hopefully will sit here, magnetized to that and hold it down. Almost. I need something to extend it out, don't I? We got around here we can use. I need to sharpen this. It's an old plane blade. If we set that there like that, hold that down, and hold this on, it should hopefully hold that switch down. The cheek maybe even hold this down, right? Come on, you can do it. Oh, that's not quite long enough. Maybe just barely. All right, we got the pin down, right? Mm-hmm. That's the safety switch. Make sure we're not starting it without the chute, because you don't want anybody, if you stuck your hand in there and it's running, woof, it'd be horrible, right? So don't do that. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, should have made sure it turned over first, right? Oh, it feels pretty crusty. All right, let's take the cover off. Make sure there's nothing in the flywheel and we can get a better leverage on it, because if we just keep yanking on it, we'll end up breaking this rope. Turn it over with a wrench or something instead, right? Otherwise, we'll break our rope and then we'll have to fix that too, and I don't want to fix that too.
The cameraman's allowed to walk over and get a closer look, right?
I think so, I guess, as long as you know what the camera's pointing at. You're in charge of the camera.
It's on a tripod, so I don't have to hold it anymore.
And you still got to direct it and point it every once in a while, right? Make sure they can see what we're working on. Alright. There's a wasp nest in there. You see that wasp nest?
Yep.
Can they see the wasp nest on the camera? It's old.
Yep.
There's a wasp nest in there. There it is. A little bit of a mud dauber nest in there, huh? Get those off of there. Maybe. Ooh, that one's in there good, isn't it? There you go. Get that off of there. Now, we're having trouble getting it to turn. So we need to get this. It turns better that way. Wonder, yeah, it looks like it's hitting the something's. I wonder if it's the blades hitting on stuff. Look at that. See, oh, look at all that stuff coming around. Looks like some critter has tried to make a nest in here. So this mess, I think we're hanging up on all of that. Hanging up on all that goodies, huh? I don't think the motor's seized up. I think it's this blade. Nothing for it. Gotta grab all that yuckies, right? Yep, I can see it right here. Got a bunch of stuff with it right in, good and tight. And we're still hitting something. Is there something on this side too? Silly squirrels and chipmunks making a nest in it. Yeah, there it is. There's some crap right there, I think. That might be our problem. Wish there was a way to get back there. There isn't. Oh, yeah, there.
It's kind of weird. You put in a perfectly good log and you get a bag of chips. You get a bag of sawdust.
We're not going to use it for sticks. This never did work good for sticks, you know what? Mommy's tried it a couple times. We're going to try to use it so we can grind plastic in it. For recycling our plastic.
It says right here, do not insert branches over diameter into hopper. Insert bottles, rocks, and water and metal objects do not enter the hopper.
We're going to assume they mean glass bottles, because this thing, when it's running, it throws stuff. And I still see it hanging up on a whole bunch of stuff. My goodness. All right, you notice that I unplugged the spark plug.
Yeah.
You know why I unplugged the spark plug?
So it doesn't go bang.
I'm not turning it fast enough to start it, but if I did, that would be a bad idea, right? That would be a bad day. So we're going to leave it unplugged for now, so there's no possible way it could get spark. All right. All right, gotta go on my screwdriver. All right, we're getting more stuff.
Some in there.
All right, we're not out yet. bet some squirrel decided to spend a whole lifetime in here, I think.
Kind of like the 41. We're probably gonna have to baby it.
Oh, get my screwdriver back. When we get this to start, all this stuff will come flying out of here really fast, so you don't want to stand down there, okay? Don't stand there at the outlet, because whatever's still left in here is going to come flying out this chute. How long's this been in there, man? I think it's been in there about 10 years.
Longer than I can.
It's always been in that shed longer than you've been alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why all this stuff's in here, all these critters.
But it's only like 2 years older than me.
They just thought, oh no, I don't think this thing is made in the 60s. Maybe early 70s. All right, we're free spinning now.
Let's get the oil out, the gas out of the oil.
Well, I think it's good. I checked it. I think it just had a layer of gas on top from setting. Because gas floats, right, on oil? All right, can you get a picture of the pile we caught out of it for them? All the stuff that came out of it? Well, you see all the crap we took out of it?
Yep.
That was what it was binding up on, is just hitting all that stuff. The blades wouldn't turn. Get that out of the barn, right? Need a broom. Actually, Mom did have a broom a couple days ago. What did we do with it? See if we can find the broom Mom had.
Kind of weird to put a Briggs in an Atlas shredder.
Well, the motor is not owned by Atlas, so Atlas makes the machine, and they buy the motor, so they don't make the motor. It's actually the same thing that happens with a lot of cars. So if you buy like a little tiny Ford car, right? Back in the 80s, Ford used Mazda engines. They didn't make 4-cylinder engines, they just used a Mazda engine. So the little truck I used to like so much, right? Had a Mazda engine, not really a Ford engine.
But our Ford truck now has
Our Ford now has a V8, so that would be made by Ford, probably, I don't know. All right, so we got that done. All right, so I can put the cover back on, right? All right. So I was worried. The reason I took cover off is sometimes the squirrels and stuff live in here and they get this where it jams up in the cover. That wasn't the problem though, was it?
See if the puller is jammed.
It's not, I just turned it.
Oh.
See? That's why I took cover off. Sometimes the squirrels get inside of there and then they cause havoc in there because they get that thing bound up on those fins with acorns and walnuts, and I think that's something that's typical of where we live. Maybe other people don't have that problem, but it seems like we all the time, if you leave something in a shed for any length of time, some raccoon, squirrel, chipmunk, I guess probably more likely, moves into the thing, makes his home there, and then stores a bunch of acorns in it. And next thing you know, it won't turn over no more. I'm not hitting something right here. There it is. This is not going around right. Alright, we're hanging up. Hanging up on our wire here. Let me get her apart again. Come on.
I bet we're gonna have to baby it like the 41. We're probably gonna have to go.
I'm gonna figure out where this wire was originally supposed to come out. Looks like it has to go there somewhere, but it sure does look like it has to come out there, but they didn't leave much room for it, did they? Hope they don't pinch it. Let's see. Gotta come out there. They sure didn't leave much room.
Briggs made it, not us.
I can't. Ah, there it is. It's got a little tiny cutout right here where that wire goes. There. Now we got her. Well, I smell gas. Maybe that's good or bad, right?
Probably bad.
Maybe bad, yeah, I don't know. Smell gas, so it's got gas in the carburetor now. And it's available to the carburetor. One more. 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine. Good news is, it's a very common engine. If we have trouble with it, parts for this thing are everywhere. Hell, we might even have parts in the barn somewhere, right?
You could steal some from the tiller.
Well, if we got something that runs, we don't want to take parts off of it, but we might even have parts in here for it somewhere.
I didn't know Briggs was a common engine. We only have 2 Briggs.
Well, we only have 2 lawnmowers. Or 2 lawnmowers. Mommy's big lawnmower uses a Honda engine, right? If you had a lot of these implements back in the day, this engine would have been on every push mower. And most kids had to run a push mower, right? Not a riding lawnmower. So that would have been a Briggs & Stratton 5-horse engine probably. They made them smaller too, like 3.5.
I think with that green lawnmower pole housing, I saw a Briggs. I don't remember how many horses.
Oh, you mean the one that we junked?
Yep.
Yeah, that was Briggs too. It was a locked up one though. Remember that Grandma had blown the piston rod right outside of it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we tried to fix it, but it was, she wrecked that one. All right, safety switch still down. Probably I'll put the spark plug wire back on, you reckon? Ain't gonna do nothing with that? All right, let's see what we got. Turns. Need to hold her down, don't we? Let's choke it. You might have to put the chute back on it now because the weight, you keep wanting to pull it over, right? It wasn't that hard to get on there, right? Let's get the chute back on it. It'll help hold it down and it'll hold our safety button down too. We'll go ahead and put this filter, ain't got no air filter in it, but we'll put it on there too and we'll see if we can get this thing to go. If it runs and we use it, we'll have to get a filter for it. Have to get us a filter. Oh, get in there. I'm gonna guess I can't get this off with that chute on there. I would just guess. Oh, I think I put it on backwards. Hold on. It says choke, run, stop, but I got it facing the wrong way. I need to go this way. Ah, that's better. Now the signs say all the right stuff. Probably don't matter since there ain't actually a filter in there, but we'll try our best. All right. This gives me a handle to hold on to now so it don't flip over on me all the time, right? Uh-oh, did you hear that?
What?
Sounded like it wanted to run. Didn't you hear it go tuk 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 tuk? Maybe I'm imagining it. Could be imagining it. Might be imagining it. We'll have to see. All right. Don't smell like gas. We ain't flooded it yet. Probably check the spark in a minute, but it sounds like it's trying to spark. Because engines need 3 things. What are the 3 things engines need to run?
Air, fuel, and spark.
All right. So we can check spark right now, right? I can hear it sucking the air in. So we're going to watch this spark tester, which they can't see in the camera, but that's all right. I'll show it after we're done, okay? Put the spark tester on it. We got spark. See it? It's got spark. We just got to get some fuel in it. Well, it hasn't been running for a while, so it might need a bunch of fuel. So we did put this spark tester on it, and it plugs in where your spark plug goes. And then when you pull it, there's a little light in there that lights up and shows you that there's spark. So we tested it and it's got spark. All right.
Is the clutch on the getaway vehicle?
Hey, I can get this cover off without taking the whole thing apart. Maybe, you know, I got finger tight, it's too tight. The way it goes, right? Make something finger tight and then you need a tool to get it off later. All right, take that back off. Might be getting too much air since there's no air filter. Might be getting too much air in there because there's no filter on it. It also might not be getting enough vacuum to suck up gas into the carburetor. So we'll dribble some in there, just a tad. Dribble some in there. we're getting any fuel. Something going wrong, right?
We might have to rebuild the carburetor.
Well, I don't know if it's worth rebuilding these anymore. You can usually buy new ones for what the rebuild costs. So we'll have to see. I think we got enough fuel in it.
I'd like to see what's working on it, because I think it's working.
I didn't fill it up. We could put a little more fuel in it. Let's get a funnel this time though, because that thing was hard to get gas into, right? Where is my funnels? There's one. Let's use the funnel. Funnel. The gas over here, they can't see anything we're doing, you know. Someone's over there playing on a tractor instead of doing the camera work. It'll be the most boring video ever. All right, put some gas in it. Maybe it hasn't got a dip tube or something that ain't working good. A little more gas in it. It's got to be at least half tank. Maybe, yeah, about half tank. All right then. Gas cap back on it. Make sure it ain't plugged up. Got an air vent in the gas cap, right? And so the air can go in and won't create a vacuum. That, it wasn't running long enough to cause us that problem, but might as well check it while we're there, right? All right. What I did have, I don't know if I have it out here anymore. That's a starting fluid. Starting fluid isn't good for engines because it burns too hot. And if you put a lot of starting fluid in, it'll wreck an engine. For just a shot to get it to fire, we might be all right. But we wouldn't want to put a lot of this in there, plus it could backfire a lot. Remember when we were trying to get the 41 to start? We didn't even use starting fluid on that. Remember how much it backfired on the carburetor? Just getting too much fuel in there, right? And backfire is sparking through. It's coming through the carburetor too. Remember we kept getting it to backfire? I think one of the valves wasn't closing from setting so long. And it was coming back through the carburetor. We need to get a air filter.
Let me get that boy.
Oh, you're fine. It's good for you.
It's bad.
Makes your lungs healthy.
It blows holes right through your lungs like a tiny drill.
Good for your lungs. Makes you strong, all that coughing. Makes your diaphragm stronger or something, I don't know. Come on, get in there. We're going to have to order an air filter for it. Ooh, it stinks.
My lungs are as weak as a cardboard coffin nail.
Come on, there you are. We'll have to order a filter for it, but I think it's a standard filter. But you know what I like about Briggs & Stratton engines?
What?
They just go. How long has this been sitting there?
10 years.
At least 10 years, maybe 12. We put gas in it, get all the mouse and chipmunk junk out of it. Hurt my shoulder by yanking it about 20 times, and then boom, right? I guess we got to put some cleaner in it too. We should probably check and make sure it starts without the starter fluid. What do you think? Think it'll start again?
Nice.
We can try. don't think we're in the camera anymore. I drug it quite a bit. Let's put it on the run first and see if we can get this to run. The stop seems to be a little sticky. It wants to go to stop too easy, so it might vibrate itself. That's what happened last time when it started dying. It vibrated over to stop. You might need to put another dent in that plate so it grips tighter. Come on. Start it again. Success. It works. Now, I wonder if it'll chop up plastic.
Why don't you go put those beans in someone else's face?
Well, you're the one that's sitting on that side. You could be over by the camera where the fresh air is. Your choice, man.
But when you sit by the camera, you're right next to a roaring engine that's making them.
We still need to maybe sharpen the blades, because remember we looked at it, we cleaned all the stuff out of it. They didn't look good, right? They're all rusty. We may still need to adjust the blades and sharpen it, but it works. Success. That didn't take very long. That's the second thing we tried to start this year that didn't take as long as I thought it would. Remember the generator? Started right up? I don't know. That's not a good sign. The next thing we work on probably ain't never going to run. Getting too lucky.
This tractor probably ain't never gonna run.
No, don't say that. We need that tractor to go. That's the next project. We'll have to work on that. I think it'll go. It's diesel.